What is up, guys? Welcome back to episode number 13 today of the My Player Career Mode here on FIFA 18. And as we kickstart today's episode off, showing you the league table, as you can see there, Ipswich currently sat 5th place. They have 2 games in hand on Sheffield Wednesday and a single game in hand on Leeds, who are sat in 3rd. But overall, it's going to be a pretty much attempt for a playoff spot, I think, come the end of this season, because, as you know, we were trying to chase Reading. But after recent performances, it's not really gone to plan, has it? So, it looks as if we're going to have to settle this year for a playoff spot with Ipswich. Of course, after this season is done, we won't be an Ipswich player anyway unless we get a permanent move over back to Ipswich. Because as you know, our parent club with Ben is currently at Wolves. And I'm sure in the next window that there will, well, he won't be a Wolverhampton Wanderers player by the end of next window, put it that way. So Wolves' parent club currently sat in 7th as well. And I'm going to say this right now, guys, if Ipswich get through to that playoffs and Wolves are in there as well and they're playing against each other, I'm going to make the rule that Ben is not allowed to play in that game. It's one thing playing in a league game where you can kind of, perform in that one, because at the end of the day, if Wolves lose it, they can always bounce back against a different team in a league game. But at the end of the day, playoffs is a different matter. So if for example, Ipswich and Wolves are both in the playoffs and they're against each other, the rule is that Ben will not be allowed to play in the game that comes between the two of them, if that is the case and it happens. So that's just a pre-warning for you all to let you know that Ben will not be allowed to play in that game. But today's episode, we need to bounce back. Ipswich need to get some points on the board and start off winning again. But didn't start off great, because Waghorn here just left his shooting boots at home by the look of it, because he got through and the angle was kind of against him. But even so, he didn't even hit the target. He just sent his strike over the top of the crossbar. But it gets worse, guys, because Ben, who himself has been without a goal for a little bit of time now, and his shooting boots have been missing recently, gets through one-on-one with a keeper on his favourite left foot, and you're thinking surely going to be 1-0, but somehow he sends that effort wide of the post. So just like Waghorn, Benny's at it as well. His shooting boots were missing. And then 57 minutes into the second half now, he gets another opportunity again on that left foot of his. And 9 times out of 10, if this was when Ipswich were playing well and Ben was in form, that would have been breaking the back of the net. But again, he misses. So I don't know what's going on. It's as if like the whole kind of scenario now at Ipswich, where they're not playing very well, struggling to get results, is really affecting Ben and the rest of the lads, because even Ben is missing some massive opportunities in order to get his team ahead. And it nearly came back to cost them here, because 90 minutes into the game, Palmer on this right-hand side gets a shot away, and it's just past that post at the other side of the goal. So luckily for Ipswich, they didn't concede in the 90th minute and did manage to get a point. But unluckily, they should have probably had 3 from the game, because Ben had 2 really good chances which he missed. And even after missing those chances, he still played at a 7.7 match rating. So he had a good game, but I'm sure if he'd have put away one of the 2 chances he got, he would have had a great match rating and would have picked up man of the match from the game. I think he still may have got it, though, even with that 7.7, because other than that, there was really nothing else happening either end of that one. But without that, it was a very disappointing finishing game for us. Waghorn missing and Ben missing the 2 chances. Not good. They need to improve on that one. And I don't know if you saw, Wolves as well lost to Leeds. They picked up a 2-0 win. Did Leeds United, even more cementing their place and in the 3rd place spot. So it's going to be even more tough now for Ipswich to try and close that gap and get up to 3rd to be able to play the 6th place in the playoffs. But they'll try their best. I mean, 4th versus 5th wouldn't really be that bad either, because at the end of the day, I think the team above them are Sheffield Wednesday, which I do believe Ipswich are about to take on in the final game of today's episode, I think. So we'll get like maybe a little preview of that. Sorry, wait, yeah, Sheffield Wednesday are. So I think we get a preview of that either to come in the... Wait, no, they were the first game. What am I talking about? I don't know what I was talking about, guys. Sheffield Wednesday were the first game. Yeah, that was it. So that was like a preview, I guess, of what could be effectively the playoff semi-final if it happens that way and if they keep inside the same positions. So, I mean, I don't really know what to make of it, because the game against Sheffield Wednesday just showed that we needed to be able to finish our chances. They didn't really create anything themselves. So I guess if it was to be a Sheffield Wednesday Ipswich semi-final, it would be quite interesting. But I'm not expecting to really do anything in the playoffs, given the fact that we can't win games at the moment. And it's just not good. But Ben in this game really trying to get his team going, as he had a very disappointing way of finishing in the last one. Gets into the area, tries to put a cross towards the back post. And you can see I've had a few penalties given for this. And I'm a bit surprised that they are actually given, because George Baldock here, his intention is to actually try and block the cross when it's coming in. But because he doesn't actually get anywhere near the ball and he just follows through with his tackle, you can see there, he ends up taking Ben out. But the truth of the matter is, Ben's actually got his cross away, so he hasn't actually been impeded in the way of him stopping his cross. It was after he'd actually played the cross. So, I mean, I can see reasons for it to be given, and then I could kind of complain and say that it shouldn't be given, but gladly for us, it is given, and McGoldrick steps up, and he gives us the lead in this game. So, where we failed to do it in the last one against Sheff Wednesday, this time around, we are able to do it against Sheffield United. We have got the lead. It's taken 18 minutes to get it, and it has to have come from the spot. But the most important thing about it is that we do have the lead in this game. So, take a look at this penalty though, guys. In my opinion, the keeper should be saving this 100%. Guesses the right way, goes the right way, and it goes underneath his arm, and somehow, I just don't know how that beat him, really. But McGoldrick, sigh of relief for him, because otherwise he would have missed that, and you should say the keeper should save it, but he doesn't. So we take the lead in the game, and I do want I do want us to hold on to this, because we want to try and pick up 3 points, but, you know, for us personally, Ben, it doesn't really affect him, because as I said, it's not his club Ipswich at the end of the day. So if they don't get playoffs and that kind of stuff, then it means that, of course, the season ends quicker for Ben. But it would be nice, I guess, to try and get promotion with Ipswich, having played here for a full year. And 29 minutes in, Ben involved in this move, tried to get another goal on the board. His teammate sends his effort just wide of that bottom corner. And we're still in the first half here, actually, as Sheffield United go close. A great one-handed save from the Ipswich goalkeeper there to deny them with the first chance. But the corner itself is about to be whipped in. You can see, I'm not so sure that that was actually going to be fine in the back of the net. That looked like it might have been heading onto the post, but you just never know. So the keeper taking no risks from the corner. It gets whipped in by Sheffield United. It's won in the middle by a man who comes from so deep and still wins that header. And luckily for us, it comes back off the top of the crossbar, because that could have been a situation where we were back on level terms, literally in the first half. So we wouldn't even have had the lead for that long. So Ben came off at half-time, guys. The reason for that was because fitness-wise, he was struggling, and he was basically just going to potentially cause himself an injury if he didn't come off. So I made the decision for him to be substituted, and his manager took him off after that. And because of that, it allowed Sheffield United to get back into the game. Well, probably not because Ben came off, but just in general, Ipswich at the moment, we look so fickle. Even when we get a lead, we just don't look like we'll be able to keep it. And they get through Sheffield United. It's a good finish, but truth be told, I was gutted when I saw it happen. I just don't know why we can't defend when we have a lead. It's just one of them things, and every time we keep getting it, that's why we've had so many draws this season, is because whenever we get the lead, it's always a case that we just can't defend it and we concede and then end up drawing 1-1. So we almost went 2-1 to the good, though, there with our teammates sending an effort off the top of the crossbar. So I guess it's all evens now. Sheffield United hit it once. We've hit it once as well. Into the 75th minute, a great ball through here to Sears, who gets the ball under control, but could not keep his strike down, and it goes over the top of the crossbar. And after that, the ref brought an end to the game. It was a disappointing 1-1 draw. I always say disappointing, but that's because truthfully it is. That's now another 2 draws in the league. Sheffield United here, and then Sheffield Wednesday earlier. It was just, we just can't get a win at the moment, and I just don't know what we need to do differently. If Ben puts away his chances in the earlier game, you know, we potentially pick up 3 points there. If maybe he'd have been on the pitch for the full 90 here, maybe that would have been 1-0. But match facts-wise, it actually was Sheffield United who were the miles better team in that one and probably deserved the 3 points. So you can kind of count your blessings in that aspect of it and say that Ipswich were quite lucky to even get a point from that. But truth be told, if we're not careful, we are going to end up dropping out of the top 6. So this game against Cardiff was an important one. This was a massive, massive game. This, for me, was going to prove whether or not we could hold on to that 6th place spot, because Cardiff are a tough team to play against. Ben's back in the team. He's got decent fitness. He's got decent stamina. He shouldn't have a problem being able to see out this 90 minutes. It was just going to be a question mark whether or not he could be able to carry this Ipswich team and get a victory. And as I said, even though Cardiff do have a good team, they were actually sat 19th place before this one started. And Ben currently is the 3rd top scorer in the division. So you'd like to think that even though the form of Ipswich right now is pretty bad, that they could still beat the 19th place Cardiff City side. So although they are quite low down in the league, it was still going to be a tough game and a tough affair, this one. So that's the team they had in the Ipswich lineup. Waghorn into the team. Garner as well starts. You may notice no McGoldrick, no Sears in that one either. So McGoldrick, the man who has scored the only goal of today's episode, misses out, probably through to fitness. And Cardiff got us underway. And it was actually them with the first chance of the game, 10 minutes into it. Bryson here on the edge of the area feeds it into his teammate. And a decent one-handed stop from the Ipswich goalkeeper stops them from going 1-0 up. But In the 21st minute of the game, Wood picks up the ball here, feeds it off to his teammate. Nice little back heel, 1-2 with Wood, gets it back to his teammate, and really, he should be doing better with a finish. It was a good defensive block, but I felt like that should have been a goal at least. And then Wood tries to whip in across, cannot find it past that first man, but from the corner, whips it in towards the middle. It's cleared away originally, only as far as another Ipswich player, who gives it all the way back out to Ben. Ben on this left-hand side gets a nice cross into the middle, and Garner rises highest to make the score 1-0 to Ipswich in the 30th minute of the game. I had to give major props here because this is not an easy header to direct goalwards and get the power, because the power was not on the cross. He couldn't just glance at the header and use the power from the cross, because the cross itself was fairly under hit by Ben. So that was pretty much all the strikers doing there. I don't think Ben can even take any credit for it. Yes, he can say he put it pinpoint onto the top of Garner's head, but he had so much to do with the header itself that, truth be told, I was expecting that to not even get anywhere near the goal. So massive header, and a very important one it was as well from Garner, giving us the lead here in this one. Major props to him because he got the power, the direction on the ball as well to send it goalwards. It was a great header, to be honest with you. And then 89 minutes into it, it looked as if we were on our, kind of way to 3 points for the first time in the episode. And it could have been even better because we had another chance before the end of the game to try and make it 2-0. Just couldn't find the back of the net, but you can see Ben playing at an 8.9 match rating, really helping out his team today, proving a point, proving why he's one of the best young midfielders in the Championship currently. And importantly for Ipswich, we got the 3 points. Finally, it's happened, guys. I cannot tell you how much of a relief that is because, as I said, we were looking as if we might drop out of the top 6. Ben especially was kind of getting disappointed with the way his team was playing. His performances were showing that. His finishing was off. It was just all going wrong for Ipswich. But thankfully, they finally get 3 points on the board. The other 2 games from the episode were slightly disappointing, but at least they did what they had to do in terms of the last one there. And it builds a little bit of momentum. And after that game, some more good news. You can see him in the background there. Ben has been called up for another England cap. He is going to be playing in 2 friendlies, or rather one of the 2 maybe, that we will be having up. There are Brazil and it is Wales, the 2 friendlies. So we'll have to see what one he features in for the next episode. But there is confirmation that he is called up for the international friendlies to come. So that's going to be in the next episode, guys. If you have enjoyed this one, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. As always, guys, thank you so much for all of your support. I really do appreciate it. I will see you all again, hopefully at 6 p.m. UK time tonight for another video. I'll catch you all then, guys. Don't miss it. Adios.